Hey guys, hope you're doing good today. Hey, I wanted to take a little bit of time and get into some of the topics that we were talking about. A couple of videos back, we talked about how to expand your territory during a famine, we went back and we talked about Pharaoh listening to the man of God after he interpreted his dream. And, because of that, God expanded Pharaoh's territory, and all that was required was a little bit of obedience and a little bit outside the box thinking and some sacrifice, whereas they had 100 bushels of grain and they could have ate all 100 bushels of grain. Well, they only ate 80. So they all still got full, didn't get fat, but got full, and then they stuck back a little bit, right? So I really believe we're on the precipice of an economic downturn. I think there's some things on the horizon for us. A lot of the PPP money's gone. Most all the stimulus money is gone. So businesses are a bit less incentivized to keep employees for a little bit, right? So I think after the holiday season, we're going to see some layoffs. We're going to see some things like that start happening. And don't be scared if that happens. If you're one of the ones that gets laid off, it's going to be painful for a lot of people, right? But it's going to be an opportunity for you to endure and persevere and begin to set your trust back in the Lord and say, God, I trust you in this time. And it may be one of the best blessings you've ever had in order to, one, put your faith in the Lord and put your trust in the Lord, but also it may help to launch you into what you were really and truly created to do, which may be business. It may be you need a season of rest and it had to be forced on you like me, So anyway, just some things to consider and continue. But I want to give you guys some ideas and just realize these are good ideas. That does not mean they're God ideas, right? Just because it's good doesn't mean it's God. Just because it's God, sometimes it don't feel good, right? So these are good ideas. I believe you'll make money if you do them, if you pursue them and go after them. But also, they may not be for you. But this is just to get you thinking outside the box, maybe shifting your thought process. The first and easiest one is going to be get another job. You say, well, I thought you said layoffs were going to happen. There are, but there's always going to be work that people do not want to do. And they're not willing to sacrifice themselves and do that. You could work 2 jobs right now. You work 3 jobs right now. Dave Ramsey says, live like nobody else today, so tomorrow you can live like nobody else. All right? What does that mean? Well, you may end up needing to work for the next year, a couple of jobs, in order to build up some finances, to set yourself free and get yourself in a position to where you can take advantage of the upcoming things that are going to happen, if you're too good to go sweep a floor, vacuum a house, or scrub a toilet, then your priorities are jacked up. I don't care what you say. And you say, well, I know my worth. I say, yeah, I understand that, but what about the people that you're providing for? What is their worth? Are they worth you losing a little bit of your humility in order to go and pursue something that you may need to do in order to provide for them, right? Just something to consider. So getting another job, getting a second job, and you say, well, I don't want to just work all the time. I want to have a life. I understand that. Absolutely, you should. But also, if you work a little more now, in a year, maybe you don't have to work at all. 2 years, maybe you don't have to work at all. Are you willing to sacrifice that time now? And God redeems time, guys. 100% redeems time. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so that's one thing. Number 2 is start a business. So just right off the top of my head, you start a window washing business. So we're going to wash windows. We're going to call it Windows by Matt. Why not? So Matt's going to start washing windows. What does Matt need to wash windows? First, Matt needs some Windex or any other cleaner. Insert your whatever here. I don't care. It doesn't matter. We need some microfiber cloths. We need probably some paper towels. We need a window scraper, all in $100, right? Maybe $80. I don't know. If you don't have $80 or $100, start your Windows by Matt business. Maybe you could borrow it. You could get a loan. You could, sell some crap that's around your house that you don't need or use, right? Let go of some of those things in order to start your new enterprise. So how are we going to make money? Well, the average house has about 8 windows. So if you go into the average house and you charge $5 per window, it's $40. How long is it going to take you to wash a window? I don't know. At first, a lot longer than it will when you get into it later, right? I would think you could probably do 8 windows in an hour. So what's that? 8 times 5 is $40. So you just made $40 potentially in an hour. You got to take out your expendables, your disposables, whatever. You're going to get more than one house worth of windows out of the things that you just bought. So say the first one, you take $10 per house for your expendables, your paper towels, your Windex, things like that. Well, now if you just did $40, now you're 30 profit, right? So that's $30 an hour. And granted, you may have to drive there and back, and it may take a little longer, it may take a little less, whatever. But as you get better at it, you'll get faster, you'll get a system, and efficiency comes after that. There's a So that's basically one way to do it. If you got upstairs, say, man, I got to charge $15 for the upstairs windows. Most windows upstairs, you only got 2 to 6, so it's not too bad. But you start with your parents, you start with your friends, you start with those people and say, guys, I'm starting this company. Would you allow me to come wash your windows and give me a recommendation? Put it out there that I'm willing to do this. Then you get into the commercial side of things. You go to the Dollar General, the Dollar Tree, the Taco Bell, whatever, and say, guys, I'm looking to wash windows. Would you allow me to do this, et cetera, et cetera. Then you upgrade your equipment. You get a squeegee, you get this, that. Anyway, long story short, that and the first one are both trading your time for money. So a real job, an 8 to 5, 9 to 5, whatever you work, is trading time for money. A service job is also trading time for money. So you only have so much time in a day. So say you get 4 houses a day and you're doing really well. Well, you're making $160 a day, which is decent money. It's not bad. You do that 10 days, that's $1,600. You do it, 30 days, that's 8 4, it's like $4,800, something like that. I did math quick, so forgive me if I'm wrong. But you're doing good. It's good money. You just created yourself a $40,000 to $60,000 a year job, business with very, very little effort, right? The need of that is huge. Every business has windows. Every house has windows. Not everybody's going to have $40, but you may could do the elderly houses. You say, hey, if you're 65 or 60 and up, I'm going to do yours for half price. I'm going to invest. I'm going to sow. So you're building the kingdom while you're also building the business and the company. All good things, right? Then eventually you want to get to the point where you can hire Joe and Bill are going to go wash the windows for you, paying those guys $12 an hour. So now you got to have enough windows in order to do it. But you don't have to go. All you got to do is make phone calls. So that's a business. That's how you start a company. We just started at that point. You're doubling your workforce. You're doubling your ability to work. You're now strictly doing marketing. So you just created a $70,000 to $80,000 a year job, business, company / whatever. We just did that in 10 minutes, right? 2 minutes, whatever we are. Coming into Walmart gets a little disheveled, right? So just something to consider. The next thing you could look at, if you have a bit of risk tolerance and you do have some liquid cash, you can invest. You can invest into, say you're the guy that Matt comes to borrow the money to start his window washing. Hey man, I need $100 so I can start my window washing company. Would you mind loaning that to me? How about I don't just loan it to you, I'm going to give it to you, but I'm going to give it to you for 5% of your business for the next year. Now, obviously that's a terrible deal, but if Matt says, hey, I'm willing to do that because that's awesome, you believe in me, thank you so much. Not only can we get the first $100, we'll go ahead and upgrade the squeegees and get a ladder. Now the investor's $1,000 in, but he owns 5% of my company. So 5% of my company will profit every month. Now, if I'm doing 60 grand a year, this guy just turned his 1,000 into 3,000, right? So something to consider. If you're an investor, that's a way to do that. You can invest in people and not things. The stock market's going to be going up and down. At some point, it's going to find a bottom. It may be later this year, maybe middle of next year. At some point, it's going to be find a bottom. I don't have any money in stocks. I'm not a big fan of that world. I do understand it. I understand how to trade. Made really good money last year trading crypto, like really good money. And I will do that again once crypto kind of starts flipping for me. Right now, been out for a long time. I'm lying to you. I just started buying back in a little bit. I'm not going to tell you what I bought back into, but I believe there's a couple of coins that we've seen the bottom for a little bit. So we'll see. May lose my butt, who knows? So that's why I'm not telling you what it is. In case you do it and you lose your butt, and it's not my fault. But yeah, just a couple of things, man. Just those, the first one, trading time for money. That's going to be the first thing that you're going to have to do. You're going to have to trade time for money in order to get money to then trade money for money or knowledge for money. So knowledge for money is phase 2 of Matt's window washing business, to where I'm no longer doing the work. I'm making phone calls, so I don't have to be on site doing the work. Well, that's trading knowledge for money. Trading money for money is the guy that invested into Matt's windows that owns now 5% of the company for the first year because he made an investment. That's trading money for money. He does nothing. If he loses his $1,000, sucks for him, he's out $1,000. If he doesn't and I'm doing well, I may come to him later and say, man, we're doing so well, I need a van. Would you front me a van? And now he doesn't own 5% of the company. He owns 8.5% of the company from now on forever. So as long as Matt's Windows is in business, he's making 8% on that money. So he may turn 10 grand into 70, 80, 100 grand over the next 5 years, right? So those are ways we can expand our territory during a famine. And there are all kinds of opportunities like that, guys. Look around your house. What can you sell? What can you flip? What can you get rid of? If you start a reseller's business, that's what I'm getting into right now. You got to be a bit more careful with that, because there are taxes and things that you have to be, you got to be liable for that, and you need to pay Caesar what's Caesar's. I have no problem griping about taxes. I think we pay entirely too much taxes. I think a flat tax is far more intelligent than, hey, you should pay this, you should pay this, and if you're smart enough to figure this out, you don't have to pay that, but you can pay this and whatever. I take advantage of the tax system. I'll be 100% honest with you. I own real estate, and I don't have to pay a lot of taxes because I own real estate, and I've figured out how to play the game. I'm not angry with a game. I figured out it was a game, and I began to learn how to play it. So you can do the same thing. I'm not mad at Donald Trump for not paying taxes. I'm not mad at Facebook for making billions and not paying a dime of tax. Because they are paying they're paying income taxes. They're paying stuff like that. So they're not paying no taxes. They're just not paying taxes on what their profit, because they've invested in real estate and they have write-offs and they know how to play the game. So don't get mad at the game. Learn how to play the game before you start whining and griping about it. Anybody can do that. Anybody can figure it out. Well, I can't buy a piece of real estate. You're right, but you can start a company with a single business license from the Calhoun County or wherever you're at, tax official, for like $100. Now everything that you get pertaining to Matt's Windows is a write-off. You need new boots, that's a write-off. You need fuel, that's a write-off. You're using your personal car to start with, that's a write-off. They don't let you write off food anymore. They used to. All those windows, or all the Windex, the ladder, all those things, the interest that you're paying back to the investor, that's all a write-off. All these things are write-offs that you can then begin to invest and sow into other things. So anyway, hopefully that was helpful. Get you thinking outside the box. We're going to do a couple of these videos the next couple of weeks, and I'm excited about that because I enjoy business, to be honest with you, and I enjoy building the kingdom, and I feel like one doesn't have to be separate from the other. I think we can do both at the exact same time. There's no difference in secular and sacred, not when you're part of the bride, man. When you are part of the bride, it's all sacred. So I do all things unto Jesus the best I know how to. So anyway, love you guys. I hope you all have a good night. Check out the YouTube page, subscribe. That'd help me. Trying to do this. I enjoy sharing knowledge. My wife and I are going to be doing some videos soon. Maybe doing some marriage videos and things like that. So anyway, all right, love you guys. You have a good night.